if you had to speculate as to, like, imagine if there is some large worldwide wholesale disclosure of information, like if invasion is imminent or if some sort of undeniable event takes place, how do you think that plays out?
But the weird thing is that if Virginia happened, if you're living there and you're seeing that, like, this is it.
Right, but that's a crash, right? What if it's a landing?
Right, like on the White House lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they have buzzed the White House.
Yeah, in the 50s.
In the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, there's something going on where they're, in some senses being bold, but they're not being bold enough that it, for some reason, is able to take hold, and just all of human society says, okay, we can't not talk about this anymore, because what'll happen now is there'll be all these, New York Times article, Pentagon leaks, and it's like, whoa, can we like stop and talk about that for 5 minutes before we just go back to life?
Right.
And we just keep going back to life and forgetting about that.
Well, don't you think there's like an information overwhelming aspect to this? That it's just overload of data, and you're just constantly inundated by new stories and new things, and there's so much to talk about and think about that it's very difficult for one thing to stick, unless it's like a nonsense thing that people get excited about, like this Bud Light nonsense. Like, that Dylan Mulvaney is the spokesperson for Bud Light, and now people are shooting Bud Light. And, my take on it has been like, yeah, I think that person's a silly person and a attention whore and a fucking weird person to be a cultural lightning rod. They're obviously just a narcissist. But why aren't you freaking out about all these other things that are happening? Why are you not freaking out about the Restrict Act? Why are you not freaking out about what's happening with ChatGPT? Why is everybody freaking out about this dumb thing with Bud Light?
Yeah, there has to be room for paying attention to just silly, crazy drama, and we're always gonna it's good to a degree.
Right, but why is that primary?
I don't know do you think it's primary?
Yeah, I do. I think there's way more people concerned with Bud Light than they are with the Restrict Act. You have to like force that into people's minds. I think there's a certain percentage of our population where their minds just gloss over. Like when you start talking about open source, and you start to a lot of people just like, they don't have the whatever it is, the software to handle that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's coming, and we just need to stay on it. I mean, what else matters? Like, I don't want to die without knowing. Because if that information exists,
right,
and we're living in a world right now where there are people in DC or elite figures in the government who it's basically multiple civilizations coexisting. Yeah. There's people with access, because when you digest certain new breakthrough information, which humanity has done repeatedly, I think that changes who we are. Yes. It changes how we interface with the world. It changes all of the decisions that we make. And so we know that we're living in this almost like information caste system where there are people with access and people without.
Right.
And so that does exist. Whether that includes, actual aliens, I don't know. But it exists for all kinds of issues that absolutely matter to our existence. Could be dealing with energy technology, could be dealing with corruption, major geopolitical events that would totally change the trajectory of the world. So I'm just like not comfortable not knowing, and having these people that I don't know who they are and why do they get to know.
Right.
It's not cool.
No, it's not.